Hi guys, welcome to February 15, the day of solar eclipse. Unfortunately, it can be only seen from very distant parts, and I don't think any one of us is going to go to Antarctica or South Africa to see it, but I can still tell you what kind of effects we are going to have this, right? So this February 15th solar eclipse, we will experience a new moon solar eclipse, so-called, right? This will be the accumulation point from the January 31st super blue blood moon lunar eclipse. Yes, it is a mouthful still, right? That kind of like almost made our lives go on a different kind of like go to the different stage. So since that specific lunation, we have been within the seismic and chaotic atmosphere of the window between those eclipses. So during this time, not only anything is possible, but it's almost like a guarantee that will be possible. And we have seen all over the place, all over the world, things happening like at this time. This is good news for most zodiac signs, as it's going to be bringing big changes to our love and relationship segments. You have to just think of the last full moon and lunar eclipse as the breaking point where we opened up and brought light to something that previously had been hidden within the darkness. Think of the moon card in tarot. You really still don't know what is going on, but you're still trying to make sense out of those shadows, right? So after that initial shakeup, we have been in uncharted territory where we have to redesign our lives, do the work, focus on what we want to do for work, and be willing to imagine ending different than the one we have previously imagined. We have also seen plethora of planets move into Aquarius, where this new moon will be joining them. Aquarius is an independent and free-thinking air sign that enjoys doing things differently and likes communicating and working together to think of the best possible approach to a situation, not just the easiest. But there are some other important factors that kind of like we can see with this new moon, including in conjunction with Juno and Hygeia. And I hope I'm pronouncing this okay. Juno is an asteroid that governs soulmates, true love, marriage, childbirth, and younger women. And Hygeia rules unions, marriages, and health. So there'll be a strong aspect of commitment associated with this moon. But it's not really as simple, as that. On the scene, you'll also see Uranus, which is still in Aquarius, who likes to do things differently, rebelliously, and it is responsible for many of us breaking with the status quo and the long-standing expectations of others, including those traditional family values that we have been raised with. Me Too movement certainly comes to mind, right, when we think about that. So, new moon signify a new beginning and life phase, and combined together with the solar eclipse, this means the energy will only be magnified. It is not just something new we'll be starting, but that is a brand new chapter we have been so craving to have. This is just about to begin. So buckle up. Looking at all of these together, we have the new moon signifying beginnings, Juno and Hygeia on the scene with wedding bells. But Uranus is just too tired of doing things the same old way just because everyone else is doing them. So it looks like everybody else caught up to craziness, and Uranus doesn't feel special and unique in doing that anymore. So these type of transits are responsible for many of the alternative families and different type of unions and commitments that we see around us today, such as same-sex marriage, couples with different religious backgrounds, biracial couples, and even blended families with divorce and children present. It is like not that unions matter less, or that we are kind of like having any kind of like difficulty in accepting those before, and they're definitely not more difficult in this transit. Rather, it is like marriage outside of the box. So Often, when we think of marriage, we all have the same idea. Rings, white dress, and tux, you know, the drill, right? But Uranus is asking what any of these really have to do with the meaning of marriage itself. What this translates to us is questioning us if what we were doing all along is really the right thing. Or do we really want this traditional union, traditional marriage? Is this kind of like really meeting our core needs? And is this really meeting our life experience? Yet, even with this transit, this is heavily influenced by this marriage and commitment. It doesn't mean that we will all get hitched by the end of February. Instead, it may be a conversation that will take place. Perhaps you and your partner are going to create a new state of togetherness that kind of like is going to fit your needs, or you will move in or take a trip together. It certainly is almost like going to be shake up. You know, like when you try to shake the tree and kind of like apples that are ripe are falling down. So sort of like it's going to be just like that. The apples that stay on will be the ones that will try to figure out what really works for them. So if you're single, don't fret. This is actually going to put you on a completely different level of understanding and willing to go in a relationship. So all of these aspects are forms of commitment and are done just like Uranus prefers. Untraditionally, spontaneously, and without much thought to any sort of expectations of others. For those of you who are already married, it will be more of a focus on the health of the marriage that already exists. And if there is anything that one or both partners can do in order to better support one another, that's going to really surface. There might be a shift as far as career goes, although there could be a focus on children and pregnancy thanks to Juno. If we are attached with no commitment, this new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius will affect us the most because it gives us the opportunity to be able to redefine what any sort of union truly means to us and lets us write our own rules when it comes to our hearts. When it comes to those of us who are single or just dating, this moon will be ushering in a new chapter of love and will be there helping us, as I told you, redefine how we view ourselves and our own personal viewpoints about what commitment and relationships really, truly mean to us. This moon will be the point, literally the point, which we will look back 6 months from now and realize that this is where everything began. This is the seed, or at least the moment that we chose to acknowledge it. It will usher us further into the phase between the super blue blood moon and the next full moon in March, by asking us to not only become clear about what is that we want thanks to the Aquarius energy, but taking time to plan exactly how to make it a reality. So, because everybody else is doing it, it's no longer a valid reason for any option in this life. Instead, we have to strongly believe in a choice that we make and see the significance in making it happen according to our own hearts, on our own hearts. So, if our parents want us to see us hitched and want to see that ring signified on our finger, we might tell them, do you know what really that ring represents? It just looks simply like a chain that maybe signifies possession a long time ago. Maybe that doesn't work for me, Mom, anymore. So we truly have the ability to design our lives according to what feels best for us. Not everyone will like it. And you know what happens when they don't like it, they struggle and the boundaries are being reestablished. And even fewer people will understand. But that's not what is important any longer. Because what truly matters is living a life that we are satisfied by, regardless of what it took us to get there. So, my guys, hopefully you kind of like process this and start this new life, a new seed from this point on. Love you guys.